Good morning, everybody. This video is a brief overview of the syllabus for your class. I will simply explain the structure of the syllabus in terms of the headings and then highlight some of the parts, of each section. But I would encourage you to obviously read through the whole syllabus yourselves and sort of make notes of maybe questions that might pop up in your head, and then inbox me with those questions or use the virtual office hours discussion thread under module 0. Note that in this class for this coming quarter, we are going to be meeting purely online throughout the whole quarter, even though this class was actually scheduled for face-to-face Tuesday and Thursdays. Also, the class will run for 11 weeks as opposed to 12, so I had to make some adjustments to the schedule, but it's not much of a change in any case. Now, this syllabus, as you're seeing right now in front of you, has sections that are basically color-coded. The headings are in orange, so there will be an instructor information section, course description, learning objectives, course outline, the textbook information, course communication, some detail on the assignments, grading components, which I know you're very interested in learning about, and then the class calendar down here. Before that, additional resources, the class calendar, and finally some other notes and some other sort of comments about the class coming in terms of my philosophy in terms of teaching. So let me go back up and just simply say that this class is a 5-unit class, as you might already know, which means that you're basically going to devote approximately 15 hours per week to do basically everything that relates to the class. That will be sort of the average. Some people will need a little more, some might need a little less. The office hours are, were supposed to be Tuesday, Thursday, but I'm gonna have to change this. Actually, this is a mistake. I have to, go back and say it's gonna be virtual office hours instead of face-to-face. So you will use the inbox or again the discussion thread in module 0. This class follows accounting 1A, so you obviously have had 1A at Foothill previously or some equivalent course at some other school. Here are the learning objectives. You can read that on your own. Course outline, here I will just simply sort of highlight the fact that we have 3 parts to this course. The first part covers chapters 10 through 12, then 13 through 15 it will be the second part, and then finally the last couple of chapters. And after each of these parts you have an exam, and so you can just follow that also on your own. Here is a little more info about the overall coursework for accounting, for our accounting program at Foothill. Notice that there will be a brand new class down here, Accounting 54, which is Accounting Information Systems, starting in the fall of this year. There's here some information about the Canvas course site and about my lab. Since most of you have already had 1A at Foothill, you already have the book and already have my lab access. So you don't have to buy the book again. You just have to, log into your account and you're set. You probably have already received some kind of red shelf email last Friday. If you haven't seen it, it might be in your trash. So you can go look into that and see if that helps. But you must have had some kind of email that gives you some information about how to log in. And then what access number to use. But again, if you already had that My Lab access in the previous quarter, you should have an easy time getting registered into the website. And there will be more information about how to do that in the orientation pages on the home page. If you have questions about it, you can always email their help desk. Actually, more precisely, email Paul Romeo at fhda.edu. He will be the one that has actually more of the authority to make sort of to help you out, basically. So read this section on the textbook, especially if you haven't had a class at Foothill yet. And in this case, I'm talking about Accounting 1A. Let's see. Please use inbox throughout the quarter to message me. Do not use email, and the main reason is that I get just too much junk mail, and it's easier to keep track of our conversations if we use email. The discussion forums will be where we talk about a lot of the content of the class, and then let's see. That's all for now. Let's see. I will just say that I usually respond much quicker than the 24 to 48 hour turnaround requirement for the class. So if you post a question in the discussion forums, or if you post a message in the inbox, I will definitely respond to your inbox messages quickly within the day. Most likely, I'm usually scanning my inboxes, and normally do it through my iPhone. So I'll be very quick, even though I may not be as some friendly. At least it doesn't sound like I'm being friendly, because I'm just being very, very quick if I use my iPhone. But I'm constantly checking my emails, my messages in inbox with my iPhone. In terms of the discussion boards, I think I'm gonna probably be doing at the very least once a day, and that's usually the case. But many times I do more than that. If I don't respond to your questions in the discussion boards within 48 hours, then you should definitely inbox me again and to remind me to look into your discussion board posting. Please read the rest of this on your own. Assignments. I'll just say to begin with that the calendar controls all dates, all due dates that are in the course. You will see that the dates or the due dates are a little different sometimes in my lab, because I extend for certain people or for certain situations, and so it will not sort of follow the initial intent of the calendar. But again, make sure that you sort of always look at the calendar and then at the announcements, just in case I make some changes to the calendar, but normally I will not do that. So calendar controls everything. Make sure you sort of follow that, please. Normally no late assignments. If there are, it's because there's some kind of system problem or something happened that that needs to be fixed for the whole class in general. And that in that case, there will be something of some late assignments accepted. And if there is, normally there will be a 10% per day sort of reduction to the score, which is not much. As you'll see later, it's the components, the ones that we're talking about here in terms of deadlines, normally are not much of a reduction. Please read the detail here under the assignments. Make sure that you understand how check-ins and participation postings are done. There's also something about reflection postings, which is actually not in your class. Reading checks are in your class, so yeah, you read this piece and read assignments and homework, and read the exams, and read a little bit about the project and the papers. I think you will have a paper. Let me remember myself, I forget. Yeah, this right. You will have a reflection paper or a team project, either one of those. So make sure you come up here and read about the reflection paper and about the project. In terms of grading components, you can read this at your own pace, but basically you have some check-ins that you do every Monday or Tuesday of each week. That's 1% of your overall grade. You do at least one posting per chapter per week. Very easy stuff. And that will give you about 9% of your grade. There will be actually 8 quizzes. I call them reading checks. But all 7, the highest 7 count, the lowest grade is dropped. So again, there are only 7 times 1. That's about 7% of your grade. They're very simple, very short ones. And then their homeworks, there are 8 of them. The lowest 2 are dropped, so 6 counts. 6 times 3 is 18% of your grade. 2 midterm exams. Each of them are 15 points, so that's about 30% of your grade. And finally, the reflection paper is 5, and the final exam is 30. There are no extra credit points, and at times there will be. If there are, I'll set an announcement on that. Here's the scale for your grades, and this is the standard one, so you should look into this. There's some other course policies that you might want to really look into, especially the one about dropping and withdrawing, which is a little different this quarter because of the situation with the pandemic. I think you're able to drop the class throughout the whole quarter, but I don't quote me on that. Check with the college, please. But let's see what else. There's some additional resources you might want to tap into if you wish. So you can look into these links here to see if they're still available, at least, or available online. I'm suspecting. So check on that. Here's the class calendar. Here I will only say that the calendar is actually organized by week. So week 1, week 2, week 3, and so on. If you cannot see the calendar correctly on the page, you can always click on this here, the link directly that will take you to a full page for the calendar. It's a Google Doc. You can always download any of these Google Docs by going to File and Download. Okay, so you can do that on your own. But basically, the week is depicted by the date of the Monday of that week. So the week starting on Monday, the 13th of April, that's week 1. Week 2 is April 20th, and so on. Then it gives you what's the topic for that week. There might be multiple topics at times in each of those weeks. And then here's the reading check or the quiz that is due on Wednesday. Homework for chapter 10. In the case of week 1, it will be due on Sunday. There's a posting due on also Sunday. Notice that the Excel assignments are purely optional. You don't have to do them. It's just for people that want to get extra learning related to Excel. But in any case, if you look at these due dates, I do place some due dates on Sunday. But again, if you go back up to the different part of the syllabus, you will see that the week runs from Monday through Friday, with a cutoff time of Friday at 12 noon. Beyond that, I will not be online theoretically, or at least technically. At times I do go in there for other reasons. I have to, grade. I have to prepare for the following weeks, and I do scan the inbox. But generally, don't count on me being there over the weekend. So please, keep that in mind. Now, you still have ability to submit your work up to Sunday, so you can do some of the work over the weekend. But again, the class is actually designed for the regular week. Let's see. You can read the rest of this on your own. If you have questions, again, you can actually inbox me or do the office hours virtual discussion thread. Here's some other notes. Please read these on your own, especially the ones about bump ups. I think people always ask questions about bump ups at the end of the class, and I would actually encourage you to ask about this now, when it really can make a difference. Some other things here that you can read on your own. I'll just say one last thing on this, is that there's a course summary, which is these dates, or these assignments lines with due dates that are generated automatically by the system, by Canvas. Please do not rely on this. Again, it is not always in line with the class calendar. That's really what counts. Okay. So again, any questions, inbox me or use the discussion thread under module 0. And by the way, if I can just show you that, if you go to modules, you will see module 0 starts here. It has all the orientation tasks, and here's the orientation and setup Q&A discussion forum if you wish to talk about or ask questions about the orientation itself. And then down here, there will be the virtual office hours discussion thread after you sign up. This After you go through the first few pages, you will be able to then see this available to you. Hopefully that was helpful. Take care and see you online. Bye-bye.